Hey, it's Dylandia King, and I just want to talk to you about some stuff. I recently wrote this earlier today, actually. I wrote a letter to the U.S. President, Barack Obama. It says, I'm not going to include my names, but, Dear Mr. President, I am Bob. I'm currently in the process of making a micronation called Dylandia. I would like to be allies in war. I would also like to have an ambassador from the USA and an ambassador from Dylandia. I'm going to be king, but I'm going to have a royal advisor, Steve. I would also love to have your advice. Thank you. Sincerely, Bob. P.S. Sorry for the spelling errors. For more info, go on to http://Dylandia.webs.com. YouTube channel, Dylandia King. Email, Dylandia153@gmail.com. So if you guys want to write letters to Obama for me and tell him how awesome Dylandia is, and we should give the right for Dylandia to be its own country, I would really appreciate it. And side note, they have this Monopoly thing at McDonald's, and I need Tennessee Ave. So if you have Tennessee Ave, send it in to me, please. I'll really appreciate it. I'll give you full citizenship into Dylandia. So if you have it and you want to send it to me, email me, and then I'll tell you what post office to send it to, and I'll pick it up, and I'll thank you so much. But and I tried calling Obama's comment line, and when I wrote the letter, and I said, I was put on hold, and then I said, "Hi, this is Bob, Joe," and he said, "I'm sorry, ma'am, we don't need your name." So then I hung up right away. Do I look like a ma'am? I don't think so. Sorry. Manly. Well, the Islands of Crypt, I've been talking about him for a little bit, but he just made Crypt to make fun of me. So all our Crypt alliance is snapped in half. Speaking of alliances snapped in half, I'm going to tell you a little story about how Dylandia started. One day, I think it was around February 12th. That's also Dylandia Day, the day Dylandia was founded. I'm going to use not using my names, so I made a fake names. So I'm Bob, and then you'll find out the rest. So one day I was sitting in class, reading my textbook when my social studies teacher was talking about how nations formed. So then I asked, "Can you start your own country?" And he said, "Don't be ridiculous. There's no more available land." So that night, since I was curious, I typed in how to start your own nation. And then I read an article about micronations, and I thought, gee, this would be an awesome idea. So I wrote down the next day, I had a math test. So I was one of the first ones done because we had a sub, and I think math is pretty easy. So I went into the computer room and wrote down a few things about that I wanted my micronation to be. I had no idea what the name was going to be. I had no idea about any of it. So I just wrote down 1 square kilometer, island, I'm the king, what I say goes, a bunch of stuff. So Steve was asked me, "Hey, what are you doing?" I said, "Oh, I'm thinking of stuff for a micronation." He said, "What's a micronation?" So then I told him, and he said, "Oh, pretty cool." So, at lunch I showed Steve, Chip, and Billy, but they liked the idea, so we all just think of a name. Then Dylandia came. I was like, "That's perfect. Like, that's just so perfect." So then a few days later, a new kid came in, and his name was Joe. So we were talking, and then he said, "What do you like to do for a hobby?" And I said, "Making a micronation called Dylandia." And he said, "Oh, okay. I like playing video games." So then I asked him, "Does he want to be a part of it?" And he said, "Sure." So then it was me, Steve, Chip, Billy, and Joe that was part of Dylandia. So later that day, I had a class down in the basement of our school. It was graphic design. I was done with the project, so then I started making a website for Dylandia. http://Dylandia.webs.com. I think you all should know that. But we did that, and then we got a new assignment, all about me, movie. And my movie's on YouTube, my homemade movie video. That's the project we did when I first came up with Dylandia. So I thought it was pretty cool. So I decided to add it on YouTube. But then, like, a week goes by talking about Dylandia. It evolutionized quite a bit. And then Billy decided he was making a joke, and then he said, I'm leaving Dylandia and making my own country. And I said, "Okay, see ya. Have a good life." And he said, No, I just was checking." I said, "Okay." Then later that day, he said in his video, he was sitting next to me in his homemade movie. He said, on my island, in my nation, I'm gonna adopt 100 kids and give them homes on my island. I said, Dylandia is not going to be that big. We can't put that many kids on the island. He said, "Why not? I'm starting my own island." I said, "Okay, bye." So I didn't talk to him for like a day. And then I was putting my idea, because I shared, we were for currency, but it's just going to be flattened US coins. So then we were talking, then I was posting that on my website for news, and then he comes along, deletes everything on the page. I was like, "Really?" So then he made his own website, Dylandia.webs.com. And it turned into a huge debacle. So then Billy left, and so then that left me, Steve, Chip, and Joe. But then Joe only hung out with Billy, and he wouldn't hang out with me. So then a huge thing went on. So then it was just me, Steve, and Chip. And then one day, Steve, Chip's, and mine acquaintances and their friends, I didn't mind them. They were nice, cool. But we're talking, and we decided, hey, how about we make more islands? So then that's where Dylanstan, Delantis, Deltopia, and St. Picklesburg came in. And then we added restaurants, and then we had Mikey Mondays, Sammy Sundays, Martinez Martinis, Fit for a King, and William Fridays. We thought it was really cool, so we made St. Picklesburg the restaurant capital. And then eventually, I just was talking to one of my other friends. She gave me the idea for Dilrope and Delina. So then the rest came, and here I am. School ended, I moved. Kind of sad. Haven't been able to get a hold of Steve lately. But, hey, what are you going to do? Well, it's been really nice talking to you guys again, even though you're not talking back to me unless you're crazy now. Demented mind. But if you guys have any questions, have Tennessee Ave, want to send in a letter to Obama talking about how Dylandia should be given freedom, or write a letter to the UN, United Nations, saying how Dylandia should be part of the UN. And I'd greatly appreciate if you subscribe, like, or leave a comment even. Because my goal is, once I hit 200 video views, I'm going to Gangnam Style. Like, I'll be right here, Gangnam Styling. But until then, I'm not going to Gangnam Style. And once I hit 50 subscribers, I'm going to do something awesome. Like, it's going to be over the top everything. So, see ya. Excuse me.